Good morning and welcome to another edition of the 10,000. Today we have Kim and Marissa, who's had off another meeting. So thanks for joining us. We are going to be talking today about the spring market. And I know that it's really barely just the beginning of winter, but as realtors, we are always thinking about the next thing. And for right now, that's the next thing is spring. And so what a better time to be thinking about spring than right now when some of you are new to industry and are just getting started and thinking about, hey, what do I do? So we're going to be talking with Kim and Marissa and just kind of bouncing some ideas in a popcorn style about what that might look like. So how are you guys today?
Awesome.
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Well, one of the things that I wanted to start with is I have this 29-page business plan. So we want to put a plug in here if you haven't. So if you don't know, Marissa's been running a 22 business plan. You've just finished your third one, Marissa?
Yeah, we just finished the last session yesterday, but the first session and the last session were recorded, and then we had notes for the second session due to technical difficulties, but all of those have been emailed. Well, the first two were emailed out to the entire company, and that third session will be emailed out today probably. So you can tune in. If anybody missed it, you can still tune in. Okay,
great. And if you've been taking it, or you watch the recordings and you have questions one-on-one, you can always reach out to Marissa one-on-one. As usual, you can call Marissa, Tracy, myself for any one-on-one time, regardless of the topic. When it comes to the business plan, I would say reach out to Marissa because right now that's her baby. But like anything else, you can always reach out to any of us and we'll do our best to help you.
And let's not forget about Doug Hale, who might just be, sunning himself on vacation
that's right.
somewhere.
And Cindy.
Oh, and Cindy. What am I thinking?
Yes,
I forget.
yes.
We're growing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so, Cindy's recruiting today. Doug is sitting on a beach somewhere in Florida. Boo. No.
Boo.
Yeah. So we really try to let our broker support be off the clock when it's time for them to be off the clock. So we're just going to kind of pick Marissa's brain a little bit today. In my Tuesday class, I was so excited because some of the fruit of business planning is rolling over into some of my classes. And two of the agents came and they were in business planning, and then they decided to meet at ADA and talk about what they're going to do and hold each other accountable. And we're having some really good brainstorming in that Tuesday meeting. And another one of them made a letter for sale by owner. So I always say the system that works is the one you work, right? The one that you do. So I guess let's just start with Marissa. What are your thoughts? Like right now, today, December 2nd, I'm in your business planning. There's 29 pages. What one or two things should I be doing today for December?
Yes, great question. So, and everyone has access to this business plan as well, by the way. I'm going to email it out to the entire company. So at the end of the business plan, what it asks you to do is to create a specific task list for yourself. So the business plan is great. You do a lot of self-reflection, digging deep about your dreams and your goals and your desires and your financial picture. You take all of that, and then at the end, it's asking you to create a specific list of tasks for yourself that you can actually implement. And we talked about this in the session yesterday, and you'll hear it in the recording. Execute. Dreaming is great. Vision casting is great. Knowing, and we do this a lot as entrepreneurs. I know what I need to do. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Yeah. But how do you actually execute? So you're encouraged at the end of the business plan to create a specific list of tasks that you are saying, I'm going to implement these things. And then it breaks it down even further for you. And you do it by quarter, right? So you take your entire task list there. Yes. You take your entire task list and go, I want to reach out to FSBOs. I want to increase my listings for this year. I need to remove things that were energy drainers for me this year. And whatever is on that list, you say, okay, first quarter, I'm going to do this. this little bit, and then second quarter I'm gonna do this little bit, third quarter, fourth quarter. So I love that they've included that on this business plan because, you know, especially we're very busy. You know, we're working in our business and we have to work on our business, and it can get very overwhelming. You can sit down and make a list of 30 things and go, okay,
Mhm.
done,
Mhm.
tap out, right? So
Yep.
being able to compartmentalize it, I love that into like
Mhm.
different quarters,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's what I would say to do. Focus on what your task list is for this year, where you want to improve, things that you need to remove, systems that you need to put into place, and then decide when you're going to do those things.
And then how are we accountable? Are we
That's
picking
a great question.
Okay.
That's a
Because
great
I have a
question.
lot of goals.
Mhm.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
great question. So we actually just talked about this. You know, I meet with the Kalamazoo group with a Ninja Weekly Skills group
Yeah.
every Thursday morning, and we were just talking about accountability as well. So
Mhm.
accountability can look like a lot of different things, right? Accountability could be your broker support team,
Mhm.
right? You
Mhm.
reaching out to Tracy or Kim or Doug or Marissa or Cindy and saying, hey, I need you to check in with me once a month to make sure that I'm on task with
Yep.
this list. Accountability could be some people in your office that you just kind of go, hey, friend, fellow agent. These are things I'm trying to get better at time blocking. We talked about that yesterday. I'm trying to get better at time blocking. Can you check in with me once a week and make sure I'm on task and I'm doing my time blocking, right?
Mhm.
Setting reminders for yourself in your phone. That's my thing.
Right.
I have reminders for every little thing. I have 3 alarms that go off for everything. Okay.
Okay.
Marissa, write your notes. Marissa, write your notes. Marissa, write your notes. I'm so serious. 1 hour before, 10 minutes before, day
Yeah.
before. Okay.
Yeah.
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 So it's just, you have to know yourself. You have
Yep.
to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and then set up your accountability around that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Tracy,
like
what
that.
questions do you have?
Yeah, what I was going to say before she moved on to accountability, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it just is. And some people, you know what, they've never had to be accountable for really anything except maybe a parent or doing
Right.
homework, or, you know, we just don't have a lot of ways that we need to be accountable. But when we're a business person and we're in a business ourselves, we have to be accountable to ourselves.
Amen.
But in doing that, sometimes we need an outside source that reminds us. It's like the best diet when you tell a friend, like, okay, look,
Mhm.
I need you to hold me accountable. Check in. I need to lose this 10 pounds or
There
whatever.
it is.
You know, but you know that so-and-so is going to call you one day this week. And how are you doing? It's a check-in, it's a reminder, and it's
Mhm.
important. So yes, you know, do these things, right? But have somebody hold you accountable. And I have reminders for everything in my life, and there are alarms on my phone too. I just do, even if it's just send so-and-so an email, I'm not going to remember.
Exactly.
Write it down, put it in your phone, give yourself a break to know that I can't remember all this stuff. It's impossible to do that. But the thing I was going to say before you moved on to accountability was what you were talking about in describing a business plan is something that describes an intentional work life. It's very intentional. It has, there can be great pride in it, right? That you have a system and you're organized and you're moving through it. And in doing so, it's going to create it is your plan for the year. And now you have a plan and work your plan.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And what we started out saying in our very first session with the business planning was, you know, I think sometimes realtors forget we are business people. We are running a business. You have to treat this like your little Fortune 500 company. How do Fortune 500 companies run? They have business plans. They have strategic plans. They have plans for growth. They have plans for if you need to cut back. They know what their finances are. They have accounting. Like, that's how businesses run. And a lot of times, realtors, we don't track like we should. We don't record like we should. We just don't. And we should, right? If you want any type of longevity in this business, you have to be able to run your business like a business. And this business plan makes you do that. It's very unique. It's very thoughtfully put together, because it's a combination of what are your dreams? What are your goals? What motivates you? What's your money like? Do you know your credit score? That's a question on here.
Yeah.
Where are you investing?
Yeah.
So it's a good balance. And I think for, we've heard Paul and Greg say this a lot, right? We're empowering business owners, right? We're not hand holding, we're empowering you to be a business owner. And so this is right along with that line of thinking.
Right. So are you transactional or are you building a business? A lot of times agents are transactional.
Exactly.
And it is a business. So this is all good stuff. And I know the business planning is a lot and it's intense, but it's all good stuff and it gives us a plan to go on. So if today I'm a new agent, I'm brand new.
Yep.
I've had some agents go, I don't know how to put out what I didn't have anything to put for last year. What should they be doing right now? Like my number one would be, you have to put together your database, right? Your sphere.
Yes.
Then what can a brand new person who's saying, I don't have anything, what could they be doing right now?
That's a great question. So I would still direct them to the business plan, because I've had to do this on my team. It's something we do consistently at the end of the year. And we've been, past couple of years, I've had new agents onboarding during this exact time. And so what I just encourage them to do, obviously, you're not going to have numbers from last year, right? But you can do this is what I want. This is what I want my goals to be, right? So there are going to be some things that aren't applicable, and it's really like just the first few pages, right? But you can still do your financial goals. You can still dreamcast. Most of it you can still do. Even when you're talking about systems, if you're a brand new agent and you haven't developed systems, there's a question of what systems do I want to use? Right? What do I want to do? Right? And then the whole last maybe like 4 or 5 pages is literally planning out 2022. And you definitely can do that no matter how long you've been in business, right? So I would just encourage new agents to not get discouraged about the few places where you're like, well, I don't know, because I didn't do anything. I just started. That's fine. There's other stuff in the plan you can do.
So like maybe their first step is asking a question. Hey, what system do I need to email my 40 people, right? Maybe it's creating, what is my system for when I have a transaction? We always like to keep the new agents on track for prospecting. So they always have a balance because they need to know the business. So they come to my class, learn 5 sellers, 5 buyers, so they can be confident enough to go out and get the business. But then they have to be prospecting at the same time, right? And so it just could cause them to start asking questions like, hey, Kim, or hey, Tracy, hey, Marissa, well, how do I do this? I want to start a campaign, right?
Right.
We always want to foster questions to get them moving, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and by building your database starts to begin the list of people who you're going to be connecting with regularly. And I think when we were talking about doing this live stream yesterday, we were talking about the people that say, well, I don't know 50 people. I don't know. But if you knew you had to call, if your goal was to call 5 people a day, right? And then all of a sudden week 1 was done and you're back on week 2 and you're back to the top of the list with the same people you had from the last week, it causes you to think outside the box that really you probably know more people. And so I think that's an important exercise that you can do. And then just be thinking about, like, I'm looking at one of the last pages before, it's page 7 of this, but it basically talks about who's filling your cup. Where is your encouragement coming from?
So good.
These are huge. And that can be, your broker support team, because who's filling your cup with a lot of things, education, what are the influences you have in your life? What are the positive energy? What's the negative energy? How do we keep the negative energy away, off the margins of the paper? So doing a business plan causes you to think about your business And when
Mhm.
you became a realtor, you maybe didn't realize you were going to be a business owner, not just a real estate professional, right?
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
I
good.
just want to add to that, Tracy, that what I really love, what's special to me about this Ninja plan is that it's not just about your real estate business. So for those new agents who are like, well, I haven't done anything, and maybe a little bit intimidated by it, know that there are pages on there that are asking you about your deepest desires,
Right.
right?
What's your
That
why?
have
What's your why?
nothing to do with real estate.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's holistic, right?
Right.
You have to be a whole ninja is about the whole person. The
Mhm.
whole person needs to be happy, motivated. That's why we do gratitudes and affirmations. We have a life list. What are your deepest, darkest desires, right?
Yeah.
Ninja encourages you to use systems and processes to get your life back. And
Right.
so this business plan encourages you to focus on, in one of the sessions, I started talking about it and I got a little bit emotional because of the fact that, I was saying this in the Ninja session this morning, we're kind of socialized to not dream.
Mhm.
We're socialized to just, kind of get through the day and not think. You were saying, Tracy, think outside of the box. Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What do you
And
want
how
to
are you going to
have?
get there?
Right? And
Mhm.
we don't think about that. We just think about, I just need to pay these bills. And I just need, we don't dream, right?
Right.
So this
And
business plan makes you dream.
right.
Mhm.
And then reward yourself when you
And then
dream. Like I was big, I would give myself goals and then I would achieve the goal and then I wouldn't reward myself because I would feel guilty. But
Mhm.
you need to reward yourself because
Yeah.
because you worked a system, you worked a plan, and you attained the goal. Have realistic goals, but have goals and dream big.
Amen.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's
That
important.
reminds me of in about 2005, 6, 7, I was in Florida selling real estate. And as we all know, the market just crashed, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And I remember every sale, I was just barely paying my bills. And I remember saying, no, you're going to reward yourself. And I took $50 to buy myself a new pair of sunglasses. And it made me, I worked so hard, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I was like, all right, I'm taking $50. And so I like what Tracy just said about rewarding yourself,
Yeah.
And then another thought about thinking out of the box, like you just never know who's paying attention. A really quick example, I went to the dentist last month and my hygienist, I see her every 6 months on a Wednesday, right? She does my teeth. And she started talking about her brother-in-law moving in. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And I didn't really pay attention. And I don't know this person, but I do know this person. I've walked with her a couple times, but we're not good buds, right? The next thing I know, a couple weeks later, I get an email. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm Sherry's brother-in-law. Can you help me buy a house? You just never know, right? And he
Right.
happened to be a cash buyer. And 2 weeks later, I had a closed sale.
There you go.
I think intentions are so important in this business.
Yes.
So then Saturday night, they asked me to come over for dinner. I don't know these people. I want to stay in my fuzzies, right? I want to stay home in my pajamas. It's Saturday night. It's dark. And I went over and before dinner was over, she goes, oh, by the way, I want to show you my house because you're getting this listing in the spring. I'm like, oh,
There it is.
just from
Right?
going to dentist, right? So you don't know, but I believe, and I know Marissa does this. I'm not sure about Tracy's practices, but I'm a big affirmation, a big mindset, a big intention and creating your world. I think that's the why. And sometimes we have to go to the growth of the mindset first sometimes.
Yeah.
And but it's, there's a lot of things that I tell the agents, you can have nothing one day and then you can be totally overflowing the
There it
next.
is.
Right,
There it
right.
is.
So we want to encourage you that during this time, there are opportunities. And I used to wake up when I ran my company and I'd say, well, today somebody wants to use, I'd name my business and it's going to be you today.
There it
Somebody's
is.
going to choose a realtor today and it's going to be you. I mean, we really have to believe in ourselves first, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
First. So there's a lot we can go into in this plan. And we're really glad that Marissa's come on board to spark what we're already doing,
Right.
but we haven't really been talking about it. And I mean, we could go so many ways. We go to affirmations, we can go to goals, we can go to your why, we can go to your intentions, we can go to your budget. I mean, there's a lot of things in this business plan, right? So we're going to look towards you, Marissa, to help us kind of chunk them out a little bit.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then the rest of the broker support team can talk with you as well. You don't have to just go to Marissa. We can work with you on these things as well. But this is like a life plan, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Right.
Yes. It's a life changer. And I said that so many times during our sessions. It was a game changer for me and my business. I would say doing the installation was one. And then getting this business plan as a result of being a ninja and doing the installation, game changer all day, every day.
So before we end today, we want to encourage you two things. One, if you haven't done business planning, be sure to do that. If you have questions, you can reach out to any of us. We do have the business plan and we can help you if you need some one-on-one time. I don't think Marissa can handle everybody, but she sure will try, I'm sure. But you can ask any of us, like, hey, Kim, I'm stuck on page 8. Can you help me? Sure, let's jump on a Zoom, right? And then the other thing would be May 16th, 2022, Ninja installation. I know it's $795, but it'll be the best $795 you've ever spent. And if it's your repeat, is it $545 if it's a repeat, if you've been here before, I think?
And there's a discount if you book by the end of the month. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So lots of good value, lots of good things, and we're excited to bring them to you. Any other thoughts before we move on for our day?
No,
I just want to, oh, sorry, go ahead, Tracy.
Oh, no, I was just going to encourage, call us, let us dialogue with you. You know, we're happy to. We want you to win and we want to be a part of it. So let us know if you have any questions. We can maybe drop the who to call list in the comments or on the page as a reminder of how to reach us. But we want you to win. So yeah, feel free to call us.
And I just want to piggyback on the cost of Ninja. It's less than most of us a commission check. So you guys, it's an investment in yourself and it's an investment in your business at a very, very, very low cost. So I would just encourage you, if you feel like the cost is a barrier, let somebody know, but also know that anything worth having, you have to work hard for and you have to invest in yourselves. Amen. So believe in that and have the faith that, okay, I don't know where this $795 is going to come from, but have the faith that it's going to be worth it. And then you're going to make that money back right away because of what you learned. So just want to encourage everybody in that.
That's true. That's true. Awesome. All right. Well, everyone have a great day. I think it's going to be a heat wave of about, let me look, I think 50. 50. So after work, I have to go get my leads done. So I have to get my leads done. So everybody have a great day and you know how to get a hold of us and we will talk with you soon.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.